Hallo Klasse, heute machen wir eine Wiederholung von Adjektivendungen. Es ist auf Seite 49 in deinem Heft. First, we're going to start with adjective endings that are preceded by definite or indefinite articles. Pause the video and fill in the chart on page 49 of your packet. Make sure that you add a genitive row underneath. Remember that this chart includes both the definite and indefinite articles. For example, if I look at the masculine nominative, I can see what to do after a definite article like der, or an indefinite article like ein. Whenever you have adjectives that are preceded by definite and indefinite articles, there are some patterns to what the adjective endings are. If your noun, for example, is plural, it'll have an en ending. Or if your noun is in the genitive case, it'll have the adjective in front of it will have an en ending. As well as if your noun is in the dative case, your adjective will have an en ending. Or if it is masculine and accusative, it'll have an en ending. So you can kind of see that the majority of your endings are going to be en. The other common ending is an e. For adjectives that are preceded by der, die, or das, that are masculine, feminine, and neuter, you will have an e ending, as well as feminine nouns that are preceded by eine. Those will also have an en ending. The three that are different are if your noun is preceded by the word ein. If that ein has no ending, then it's masculine nominative, neuter nominative, or neuter accusative. So the neuter accusative one and nominative would have the adjective and an es, and the masculine nominative after ein, your adjective would end in er. So those are your common adjective endings. Underneath your chart for adjective endings after definite and indefinite articles, make a chart like this one for your unpreceded adjective endings. Pause the video and make your chart now. So this is the chart that you would use if your adjective did not have a definite or indefinite article in front of it. This is the one where we talked about Reese, Nisi, Merman, and for genitive, ner. Reese, Nisi, Merman, ner. These are the endings that your adjective would have if they preceded your noun, whether they're masculine, feminine, neuter, plural, nominative, accusative, dative, or genitive. But how do you know whether something is nominative, accusative, dative, or genitive? Well, here's an example with a basic English sentence. John gave Mary the book. John is the subject of my sentence. Subjects in a sentence are in the nominative case. The thing that he gave is the book. That is the direct object of my sentence. Direct objects are in the accusative case. Who did he give the book to? Well, the receiver of the book is Mary. So the receiver of an item is usually an indirect object. And it's usually a person or some living being that can receive something. And indirect objects are dative. And what you see here is the typical German sentence structure. You have subject, verb, then your indirect object, and then your direct object. So if I wrote this sentence in German, John gab Mary das Buch. If I want to provide an adjective about the book, I know that the book is the direct object, so it's accusative. So if I look at an accusative noun that is neuter because of das, I see that following das, an adjective would have an E ending. So maybe it's das neu, and then I add my adjective ending. Das neue Buch, the new book. Or maybe it's das alte Buch. Whatever that adjective is would have to have an E ending because it's accusative and it comes after das. Here's another very similar sentence. Ich gab meiner Mutter das Buch. In this case, Mutter has meine in front of it. Well, meine became meiner because we have a subject, the direct object, and the Mutter is the indirect object, the dative receiver of the book. So meine is dative, it becomes meiner. But if I wanted to add an adjective to say something more about meiner Mutter, maybe it's my nice mother. Well, we know nice is nett. And if I needed an adjective ending there after meiner Mutter, we know it's an indirect object, it's dative. It comes after an indefinite article. So all those possessives, mein, dein, sein, unser, euer, ihr, those are all treated like ein words. So indefinite articles. So dative after an ein word for feminine has an en ending. Meiner netten Mutter. Let's do one more sentence example. Ich sprach mit dem Chef. So this means I spoke with the boss. Well, in this case, we have a subject, a verb, and then mit dem Chef is a prepositional phrase. Mit is a dative preposition, which is why der Chef became dem Chef. So if I wanted to add an adjective describing the boss, well, it's going to be dative because it's within this dative prepositional phrase. It comes after dem, the masculine dative definite article. So the ending that we have to have then is an en. So let's use one of our vocab words. How about I spoke with the demanding boss? Well, demanding is anspruchsvoll. There we go, anspruchsvoll. And because it comes after dem and it's dative, we need an en ending. Ich sprach mit dem anspruchsvollen Chef. I also wanted to show you an example with an unpreceded adjective. So for example, in this sentence, demanding bosses are stressful. Demanding is the adjective, but we're not saying the demanding bosses, my demanding bosses, any other kind of definite or indefinite article is not preceding that adjective. So demanding or anspruchsvoll is now an unpreceded adjective. So we've got an adjective in our sentence. We have the subject, what we're talking about. We have a verb, and we have another adjective. So if that adjective is describing the subject, we're looking at the nominative case. Chefs or bosses is plural. So if I'm thinking about Reese, Nisi, Merman, nominative is the Reese line, plurals that E at the end. So anspruchsvolle Chefs sind stressig. Now, notice also that stressful is an adjective, but I did not put an adjective ending on stressig. That's because that adjective is not in front of a noun. So right here at the end of stressig, I'm not going to put an ending because it's not in front of a noun. You do not give an adjective an ending if it does not come before a noun.